Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Last section we're cover here in section chapter 3, section 3.6, dealing with solving equations. Really no new vocabulary today, but what we are doing is we're going to be solving equations using the balancing method or the really nerdy method that I like to call it in class. We've always done it. We've sometimes done it by undoing operations and writing those steps down. Now we're going to try and focus on doing it algebraically and mathematically that way. Okay, so we've got three different examples here that we're going to talk about. We're going to go over examples of how we can do these with showing the work in a mathematical way. So the first example would be negative 9x plus 1, and that's equal to negative 80. So what we want to do is we want to draw our line straight down the middle. We want this x value to be by itself at the very end. So that means we're going to leave kind of that term by itself until we get it by itself by doing some other work. So that means this is going to stay. This negative 9x is going to stay for right now. This minus 1 is going to go away because we have to get rid of it. So what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we're going to subtract 1. I'll draw a line here. We got negative 9x is equal to negative 81. So now this means negative 9 times x. So to get rid of that, we divide by negative 9. Do that on each side. That gets rid of that 9, so we're just left over with x. And we take two negatives and they divide by each other. It makes it a positive. So we have 81 divided by 9 gives us a positive 9. So x is equal to 9 is our final answer. Alrighty. Example 2 now has 2 minus 3 times x minus 4, and that's equal to 8. So now what we have here, this x is inside the parentheses, so this x minus 4 is going to be the last thing that we deal with. We have this negative 3. Remember that the negative attaches to the number that's next to us, and we have this 2 out front. What this 2 means is this is a positive 2, so we're going to get rid of that first. So I'm going to minus 2 on each side. So that goes away. Do not combine the 2 and the 3. That's a no-no. So now we have negative 3 times x minus 4 left over on the left-hand side. And we have 6 on the right-hand side. This negative 3 is multiplying everything on the inside. So that means we are going to divide by negative 3 on each side. So now we have just the x minus the 4, and that's equal to 6 divided by negative 3. That gives us a negative 2. We're going to add 4 to get rid of the 4's. So now we have x is equal to a negative 2 plus 4 gives us a positive 2. 2 becomes our answer. And then finally, we have 144 is equal to negative 12 times x plus 5. This negative 12 is out front, and that's telling us that it's multiplying by each one of those. So we can just simply divide by negative 12 on each side. So it gets rid of it. What we have to do to one side, we have to do to the other. 144 divided by negative 12 gives us a negative 12. Then we have an x plus 5 left over. We subtract 5 on each side. So x is equal to a negative 17. Okay, so these three examples we could always do by undoing, writing out the steps of the number trick and then redoing all of those. But as I've said before in class, doing that is the exact same way of doing it this way. This way just looks more mathematical. And so we're going to try and get to doing it this way more and more often, and that just takes practice. Okay, so here is the try on your own problem. Solve the following equation using the balancing method. It's 3 times the quantity x minus 4 plus 7, and that's equal to 16. Please show all your work, and as always, make sure you get your paragraph done. And if you have questions, make sure you let me know. And have a good day.